Hello, friends. It's Simone, your favorite neighborhood nerd. I am here today to share 10 bold statements about fountain pens and inks that I realized in 2024 and before. The reason why I want to write those down and add them to my ink journal and then transfer them into my 2025 ink journal is because I have realized lately that this past year, 2024, was definitely a year of change for me in the way that I'm treating my fountain pens and inks. I've tried to step out of my comfort zone more often, and this led to quite a few discoveries along the 12 months that I probably wouldn't have made otherwise. And because I want to push myself in 2025 even more, I want to have those statements so that at the end of 2025, I can look back and see if they're still true. Because I think I had opinions in when I went into 2024 that were basically a little bit different. Some I hadn't even realized. One of them comes to mind, which is probably the one about samples, which I'll talk about when I get there, but I just want them written down so I can look back and say, oh my God, I have changed. One thing that came to mind as well is the fact that sometime in maybe July or in the spring sometime, I boldly said, I am not ever interested in Leonardo pens because I just am not. The main reason was because their clip is so short and it just looks like a short tie that has been tied too wrong. And now my favorite pen of 2024 is the Leonardo Momento Zero Grande with a number 8 titanium nib, which is wild. And so I thought if I capture them at the beginning of the year, at least the ones that I know right now, maybe I can show how different just one year makes us. 10 bold. Bold. Now, how do I do this so that it looks good? Because above all, it needs to look good, right? Doesn't it? So I'm gonna just do this and then possibly do this. Bold. Statements. 2024. And to be precise, today is December 28, 20. Oh, it's not true. 29, but it's okay. I do not need them to be that correct. So I'm just going to go down numbering 1, 2. I don't even know if it fits on the page like that. 3, 4, 5, 6. It's probably going to go down to 9, and then I won't have enough space left for the 10th. 7, 8. Nope. 9 and 10. Alrighty, let's start. I did all of this with the Opus 88 Demonstrator Pink 2024 Special Edition, I believe is what it's called. I have it filled with Lennon Toolbar Ying Piao. And the nib that is on here is a Pilot Parallel 6.0 millimeters, which makes this amazing big bold font, which I love. Then I'm writing all of the statements with the Benno Ambrosia Brown Orchid with a medium nib, and it is filled with KWZ Smells Like Coffee. This needs to dry a little. And the first statement that I have is I love medium nibs. The second statement that I have is I prefer ink bottles over samples. I think I have one more that I don't know how to put into here. Maybe I'm going to have an 11th bonus, which is another opinion about inks. Bottles over samples. Samples are great for shimmer and light inks. And the reason why that is because I put those now into the Pilot Parallel pens, and I eyedropper these Wankai Minis, swap out the nibs for these Pilot Parallels, and then that's enough for a sample. I don't need more than that, and this will last me for a long time. So I've talked about this in a different video just recently, where samples for me make ink scars, and so I don't dare to use it because there's only so little ink in that sample, which is actually not true. I realized that just the other day, but it feels like it. And so I'm more likely to really hoard the small sample and not use it because I might run out of it. And that's basically counterintuitive of what I want to do. Is I want to use all the inks. I want to use all the pens. And so I am currently more on an ink bottle ride than a sample ride. But I think samples do have a place in my collection, especially with shimmer inks and light inks that I might not prefer in a fountain pen, but in a Pilot Parallel. Then the next one is closely related, is I really like shimmer inks in Pilot Parallels. And I have another thing to add to this. I also really enjoy shimmer inks in Bennu pens or the Schmidt nibs. I think it's the Schmidt nib and feet that makes them good. You can also get a Schmidt nib on an Admok M800, like this one. This one has a medium Schmidt nib. This is what it looks like. And for some reason, when I put shimmer inks in those pens with those nibs, they perform really well. So that's where I'm keeping those. And then I have a statement about ink brands. Diamine. I could just put this here because I think Diamine is the best, most affordable ink brand that is out there. But I added some more because I really like those as well. Diamine, Kobe, and Pilot Iroshizuku inks are my favorite. Ink brands. And Waterman too. Waterman has a very limited color palette, but the ones that I have tried from them so far are just perform really, really well and nicely in pens as well, too, I guess. Okay, number 5. I put rainbow colors, but actually what I really love is having a rainbow of colors inked in my pens. I love having a rainbow of colors inked in my pens. Number 6 is I prefer inks that are the same on all papers. I love seeing how inks change when you use a different paper, but I prefer knowing that the ink looks the same on all the papers when I actually have it in a pen. I hope that makes sense. Like, if I just swatch it, it's fascinating to see, oh my gosh, this is more blue on this paper and this is more purpley on that paper. But when I write with the pen, when I have it inked in a pen and I use 5 different papers, I want to know that the ink looks the same on all the papers. Yeah, I'm really boring like that. Next one is another statement. I don't like light, and I'll put the blue here because there's other colors like light brown as well, or these greenish dirty hues. Chromo shaders. Inked in pens. I love swatching them. I love seeing how they separate into the different colors that they are made of, but I do not like using them in pens because they often look super boring, or they're so they have such a big difference in shading that it's almost illegible. Then number 8 is I hope this will change, but this is one of those statements that is unfortunately still true. I prefer pens how do I say this? I prefer pens from bigger. I don't think that's correct because bigger manufacturers. I wanted to put this positively because what it also could translate to is that I don't enjoy hand-turned pens as of now. This means I currently have, oh wow, this is reverse writing with this pen does not work. I don't enjoy. I love what they look like. I love the craftsmanship, but when I have it in my hand and I write with it, it's an underwhelming experience most of the time. Not because the pen is bad per se, but it's, I don't know, maybe it's the JoWo number 6 nibs that just, ugh. Some have sealing issues, so they dry out more easily. So I currently own 3 hand-turned pens, I believe. Yeah, that's it. I wish I would love them more, and I still struggle with that because I really want to support hand pen makers, but I don't really know how that works for me if I don't enjoy writing with those pens. I don't enjoy writing with hand turned pens. And yes, I'm saying this right now, and maybe tomorrow it will change. I would be happy if it changed. That doesn't mean that I don't like hand-turned pen makers. You know what I'm saying, I hope. I hope you understand. I love, next statement, holographic. My kids tried to teach me over the break. Holographic sparkly pens. If there is sparkle in the pen, if it's holographic, it makes it just so much better. There's one pen that I hope to get at the San Francisco Pen Show. We'll see. That is holographic sparkle. And then number 10 is basically my biggest pet peeve as of now, and it's still the same. I have sold quite a few pens because of it. My biggest pet peeve pens that don't seal well and thus lead to evaporation and the ink being much darker that's that. All right, so here are my 10 bold statements at the end of 2024. I will have them, I'm having them currently in my 2024 ink journal, and I will also write them in the front of my 2025 ink journal so that I can have an easy access to those statements and see at the end of 2025 if they're still true. And then maybe at the end of 2025, I'll make another set of 10 bold statements of 2025. Hey, I completely forgot my 11th bonus statement. So I will just add it right now. 11th. This might be really surprising to some people. Similar inks. Inks that are different in swatches are indistinguishable. I love that word. When inked in pens. So stop trying so many inks. It's useless. Oh my God, I'm not writing that here. It doesn't have enough space. But this is a thought that I've had for quite a while now. One of my friends, Fine Nib Witch, has voiced this in my Discord. And ever since she said it, I was like, yeah, you're so right. This is definitely one of those things that I found out this year. And I think that's closely related to the fact that I now have started to prefer ink bottles over samples because I have realized that and have started to act accordingly. I would much rather investigate those inks that I have in bottles in different pens, look how they perform, find maybe a perfect pen and ink pairing, that if I want to write with this ink, I know exactly what pen it should go in because that's how it performs best. That's where I am currently. And yeah, I hope you are having a wonderful new year and have some bold statements of your own, let me know, and happy exploring in 2025. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.